Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today is a 61 Benz episode, and it's not just an episode, it's an adventure. So today, it's kind of spontaneous. I decided to take a drive in the super crazy heat. It is probably around, it says it's 100. I don't know if it updated, but earlier the phone said it was 106. So gonna take this through the hot valley, Pasqual Valley, which is where the San Diego Wild Animal Park is. Gonna go up that and up the grade into Ramona. Gonna cut across Highland Valley Ranch Road, which is a little steep 2-lane road, to just kind of do a little quick test. If it don't look good there, gonna turn around. It's hot, but I figured what else to do on a hot day than go play in the heat. So I'm gonna test the radiator, test the engine, see how this 63-year-old engine holds up. The oil is good. I topped it off. I think I'm at, it's in the safe range. Get our battery connected. Just like that. I check the radiator. It's up to the full mark. So these don't have an expansion tank, so if you fill it full, it's just gonna blow it out and get all over the place. So you gotta leave a little bit at the top, that's air. I'm gonna find my vice grips. Hopefully I got my handy vice grips right here. And use the vice grips to shut off the heater hose. Right there. Just like that. That stops the hot water recirculating back into the block, and it only takes radiator water coming back. It's sweaty. It's hot. So I'm gonna push this out of here because I got the AC going. I just turned it on. And I cooled the shop. I got something to play with tonight. That 4Runner, my buddy with the 4Runner, we're gonna get some things ready. We're doing a Sunday cruise, off-road cruise to Diablo drop-off in the afternoon into more heat. Get that. But anyway, I'm gonna push this out so I don't smoke out the shop when I start it. Hasn't been started in a bit, and then we'll get going. See how this thing does in the hot weather. I got my extra GoPro. Got my shades because it's gonna be bright. And put this guy in neutral. Parking brake off. See if I can get this Flintstone it out of here. Probably should test the brake before I go over the edge. There's the edge. Close the door. Back on out of here. Backing up. All right. See what we got going on. We got a 1/4 tank of gas, which there's a lot on the bottom side. I got enough to at least get to Ramona, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's see if this thing fires. It has not ran for 2 weeks, I think. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. So I'm gonna let this guy warm up to where I can take the cold start valve off. I guess it's so hot it just wants to run. shut the garage door and get on the way. Alrighty, this thing came up to temp pretty quick. See what the phone does say. What does the phone say for this town? We are at 107, so it's a good day to test the radiator and the engine. We are at just at 180. It's still warming up, but it is running without the cold start valve. So let's go for a ride. Cut through the neighborhood the long way just to kind of get this thing going. I have not drove it in a few weeks. Want to make sure everything's working before I hit the road. I am not carrying any tools besides the stock Mercedes toolkit that's included with the car. I do have my AAA card, so if it's anything, if there's any breakdowns beyond the stock toolkit, we're just calling it a tow truck, and that'll be an adventure in itself. So it's fun. It's time to have fun. Car is getting up to temp, just above 180. Got to get through all these traffic lights. Once I hit the highway, there's no traffic lights. The back country, it'll be nice. It is hot, but once the car is moving, at least you get the wind through here. Got the old school wing vent. That's it. But it's fun. It's crazy, but it is fun. My watch is not updating for some reason on the temp. It says it's 100. Got another red light. It's like I'm hitting every red light today. But I got like 3 more red lights to get to where I turn off onto the highway, the country road. So in the San Pasqual Valley, which is the wild animal park, it's part of the San Diego Zoo, it's hot in there. That's where it's called a safari park. It's all the giraffes and lions and tigers and whatever else they got over there. It can feel like they're in Africa. So I guess we're in an African testing ground now. So we'll see how that goes. There's a little ways. I take a 2-lane highway up to the hill, and then it drops over down into that valley, and then it climbs back up towards the city of Ramona. And that's kind of the route we're doing. It's about fall goes right about an hour and a half loop back to the house. And all right, last traffic light. Say bye-bye to civilization. Hit that country road here. through the country. It's doing good. Car's doing good so far, but we haven't started up any grades. Man, this thing's running nice. It's a dream to drive it through this old country road. Starting up the hill, we're gonna need third gear through here because it's steep and slow. Climbing the hill, so the temp's coming up. But it's still touching the 190 or 180 mark. But my gas light is coming on, which is a problem when I climb that hill. So I definitely need to get gas in Ramona. That'd be funny if I ran out of gas. All right, we made it halfway up the hill, and now we're gonna start working our way down into the San Pasqual Valley. Let that guy go there, and ooh, we got a Ferrari behind us, I think. I don't know what that is. I can't tell what that is in the rearview mirror. Oh, maybe it's one of them fancy new Corvettes. It's a Lotus. It is a Lotus. That guy's out here to go fast. We'll let him go fast. And now we're gonna just work our way down. The temp came back down because we're level. We're not actually climbing. Current speed is 40 miles an hour. That Lotus is gone, by the way. I see that pickup that I led by, and I see the pickup's way up there, and the Lotus is out of sight. So that dude was moving. So we're at 108, is the current temp outside. We are at, there's the temperature on the gauge. It says speed limit 50. You know that Lotus broke that. All right, we're coming up to the highway, and this is highway speed. The cars are flying here, so we're gonna start picking up some temps, trying to keep up with traffic. So it's hot. I feel it. I feel it significantly hotter here than it was down below. I'm starting a little bit up the grade. It's not the big stuff yet, but it's uphill, running about 45 miles an hour. And now it starts the grade. So that was the Lotus coming back. I wonder how far he went. So far, so good. The temp's climbing, but the needle is still touching the 190 thing. Thought I would be going much slower up this grade, but I'm actually not. I'm doing the flow of traffic, like regular traffic, not like that Lotus. Gotta hydrate. Still pulling in fourth gear, which is surprising to me. I thought I would have to drop it into third through here, but it's got a lot of torque. It's doing good. The needle is up, but it's still touching the number. That's pretty impressive. 63 years old. Oil pressure is holding up too. So here's going to be a good test. There's a slow truck, which means I got to slow down, and I'm not going to have the flow across my radiator. But I think we're almost approaching the top. So we'll see if the temperature gauge comes down now that there's not as much load on the motor, but I am going slower. But at about 35 miles an hour, so I should still be getting some air across that radiator. But the gauge is climbing. I can see it now. Give it a little more RPM on the fan. gauge is holding steady a little bit. It hasn't climbed as much. So the temp is holding steady, but it's not coming down, that's for sure. Just not enough airflow at this speed. And this thing has no shroud, so you know that fan is what that fan is. But the engine's running good. It's running really good. Got one more little peak here, and we're gonna start our downhill. The temp is still holding flat. I don't know what it is. It could be around 200, something like that. I don't smell any coolant. That's a good sign. And we started downhill. Hopefully the gauge is not stuck. Like it went up so high it got stuck and it no longer wants to come down. That can happen in an old car. All right, we're still at a quarter tank, so I'm gonna skip the gas station here and just roll it on home. So the gauge is not coming down. It's still where it was, roughly. Or maybe I don't know if it may be coming down. Actually, I think it is coming down. It is coming down. We're good. One way to know if you're overheating or not when you got an oil pressure gauge, put your vehicle into neutral, which is unsafe to do in the state of California, I think. When you're idling, you check your oil pressure. And if your oil pressure is down or almost down to nothing, you know that engine's running hot. But I am at idle and I'm pushing 45 psi. So that tells me the engine's running at normal temp. So we're not home yet, but I think it was a success. The gauge is back down to like right where it normally is. I'm feeling the heat. I am definitely feeling the heat. Well, that's it. It passed. I think we're good. Temp's back down to normal. We're rolling at about 45 with traffic. Gonna pick up here up to 55. But anyway, success and a lot of fun. All right, we made it back. Made it back. Let's check for obvious stuff under there. But it's working. Like, I don't see any leaking signs around the radiator or anything, even out the overflow or nothing. Alrighty. The temp came up since I stopped, but that's about normal. There. It's all finally in the shade. Anyway, it was a good run. Really good run. It was fun. I'm gonna go into my air conditioning now. But it's pretty good for a 63-year-old vehicle. I'm pretty impressed that it did what it did with the stock radiator and everything. The engine never being apart, as far as I know. But it did. I'm impressed. I am impressed with the performance, how well it ran and everything. Was a fun drive too. Anyway, thanks for riding along. Thanks for watching, and until next time.